Hello and welcome to City Council Comments. I'm Steve Erickson along with Mayor Jerry Cook. Today we're talking about both the May 2nd and the May 16th City Council meetings. Thanks for being here today.
Absolutely. Thanks for having me.
We have a lot to cover today, so I think we'll just jump right in here. And we'll start off talking about our May 16th meeting. One of the first items there was a proclamation declaring Armed Forces Day.
Armed Forces Day. General George Steiner started working with the Army Band to bring it in for a celebration as part of the Epiphany Spring Fest. And so we'll be doing the Armed Forces Proclamation Saturday afternoon over at Epiphany. And usually the Army Band is there, but I'm pretty sure they are. They always are, right?
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, I forgot to look at the calendar to double check that, but let's just say they are.
Yeah, but Epiphany Spring Fest is this weekend.
It is this weekend, and the presentation will be sometime after 2 o'clock Saturday afternoon.
All right.
Yeah.
Council had a presentation, a consideration of a resolution accepting the Coon Rapids 2017 Member City Grant Agreement. This is from the Twin City Gateway, which is sort of the marketing leg up here in the North Metro.
Yeah, so the Twin City Gateway Visitors Bureau has 23 hotels and 9 communities, and it is it receives the lodging tax that the state requires the hotels to charge, and then the Visitors Bureau uses that for marketing this area. And part of that is a rebate to each of the member communities to use locally for marketing to try and attract people to this region.
Okay, and we have one of the most hotel rooms of the member cities?
We have the most hotels, and so we are the largest contributor to the gateway. Yeah, we used to kind of go back and forth with Shoreview, but now that all the construction's going on over in Shoreview, and then one of the hotels was remodeled, we've actually been in the lead now for the last couple of years.
All right, so this is basically $23,878.
Right, and we basically pass that through to the Community Strength Foundation, and it's used for the fireworks for the 4th of July celebration, for anything that draws people to the community.
Yeah, and you talked a little bit more too. They're doing actually more specific marketing for individual cities. They have been in the past year.
Well, I think they always have. They talked about 80% of our investment goes out of this market. It goes to North Dakota, South Dakota, northern Minnesota. Chicago used to get quite a bit. I don't know if it still does. Winnipeg, Canada. About half of our visitors come from northern Minnesota, and I don't remember what other statistics he gave us that were interesting, but it was a very interesting presentation. 60% of the lodging taxes and the tourism money is in the metro area. Yeah. So we're part of a very vital leg for that.
Yeah, maybe there was some specific tournaments and stuff that were held here in Coon Rapids that I'm sure we had a lot of people attend.
Yeah, and actually now maybe what you're talking about is in the last year we've hired a sports marketing guy. And he's gone through and inventoried all of the community structures and was really excited to, work with our community ice center, or Coon Rapids Ice Center, because to have an indoor and an outdoor refrigerated ice is very unique. So they've brought in some tournaments, broomball tournaments, and a girls hockey tournament. And then Sand Creek Park, of course, we'll talk about later, is reopening. And it's only one of 2 fields that has 6 full softball fields, which is what apparently the ideal is for tournaments. So they've worked with Sand Creek Park and some organizations, and they have several tournaments coming in as well.
So that'll be nice now that Sand Creek has those 6 fields.
Right. And they really focus on getting the out-of-state or the outstate tournaments to come to town, where then there's lodging and restaurants and everything else.
All right. Well, speaking of Sand Creek Park, we're kind of there. Council adopted a resolution accepting a donation for the Sand Creek Park grand opening event and also for the movies in the parks.
Right. The 2 contractors that were working on that, Peterson, and then I wish I had that here.
Oh, look, you talk.
At any rate, yeah. So we received $500 as a donation from each of the contractors that were working in Sand Creek Park towards our opening night celebration.
So it was WSB and Associates.
WSB and then
And
Peterson.
Peterson, yep.
Right, $500 each.
All
So
right.
it was nice.
And that grand opening is coming up here on Friday, May 26th.
Friday night, May 26th, it's going to be inflatables. And normally the inflatables, there's a charge. This time it's apparently part of the event.
Yeah.
And then there'll be root beer floats. And then there will be actually concessions that will be for sale. Yep. The North Star Lions will be hosting concessions. And then the movie in the park, I think, starts at 8:30. It's Zootopia.
Yeah.
And it should be a lot of fun. I think the last time we had a movie in the park at Sand Creek, there was like 800 people there.
Yeah, it amazes me because these are movies that have been out, but folks must just like to come out and
Well,
enjoy the night outdoors and just kind of a fun environment for the kids.
It's so fun. They bring the blankets and the lawn chairs and set them up, and you get the big screen and the speakers out there, and it's just a lot of fun.
All right. Well, we'll hope for good weather there
Yeah.
for that. And then the donation for the movies in the park, does that come from the Community Strength Foundation?
Yes, it does.
Okay. So the first one will be held in conjunction with the Sand Creek Park grand opening, and then there's another one coming up in September
Yes.
as well.
And we'll talk about that later.
Yes, sounds like an idea. All right, council approved a brewer tap room on sale Sunday, off sale Sunday for growlers, tavern, and small brewer off sale liquor licensing for Alloy Brewing Company. We're kind of getting to the meat of this here. They got several different licenses approved.
Right. So the big one is getting that liquor license going, and they are. We're really excited to have our first tap room in town. It's going to be down in Coon Rapids Boulevard, and they wouldn't give us a specific date. You know, they were here at the council meeting, and it's like, so what's the date? Soon. So hopefully in the next couple weeks. I think they said they're at item number 117 of 135. So
They're getting there.
yeah, they're getting there.
But sometime in June is, I think, what they were originally hoping for.
Well, May was actually his last thing, but now this, I don't know if they're posturing into June now or not. You would think if it was still May, they could have given us a date.
All right. Well, we'll see here within the next month or so. And again, that's on Coon Rapids Boulevard, sort of towards Crooked Lake Boulevard.
2700 Coon Rapids Boulevard. It's where the old Enterprise rental car used to be there years ago. It's right next to the townhomes, the detached townhomes that used to be Coon Rapids Chrysler Plymouth.
Yeah.
You know,
Okay. So
yeah,
in
just
that area.
east of Crooked Lake Boulevard.
All right. Council adopted an ordinance changing the zoning from office to general commercial. This is for Shamrock Development at 124th Avenue and Ivywood Street. There was actually two actions on the council meeting relating to this item.
Right. So at the last council meeting, we introduced it, and then this one we took an act. We acted on it, changing the zoning to general commercial. It's been zoned office since 1986. The rest of the parcels were all tied together and rezoned to office in 2007. And in all of that time, there hasn't been any action on that property. And it's this big vacant lot right across Main Street from Menards.
Okay.
And they finally came in, they said, this just isn't working. And at one time, apparently you could have a fitness center with office, and then that was removed. So they said, we really need general commercial, because I think they're hoping for a fitness center.
Okay.
But we'll see. And
All right.
but it was unanimous, and there was some concern from the neighbors. Obviously, there's three sets of twin homes there that this property wraps behind. They're concerned what's going to go behind them. That'll primarily be water retention, ponding, things like that. And then there's still going to be a traffic study, I believe.
Okay.
You know, because they're concerned about the traffic on 124th there.
All right. So we'll hear more about that. So the zoning was approved to be changed, and then the land use designation as well.
Right. So once you change the zoning, then you have to, by law, match your land use to your zoning.
Okay.
So that was also done.
All right. Council accepted a resolution, or adopted a resolution rather, accepting plans and specifications. This is for a LED conversion project on Main Street and also on Coon Rapids Boulevard.
Yes. If you've driven down Main Street anytime since Riverdale was put in, they had those lights that they don't actually put out any light. They're a bit of a misnomer. You know, there's a little white spot. It looks like that thing where you're dancing in the under the street lamp. So at any rate, we've had several meetings, several workshops, picking out new lights for all of Main Street, because it wasn't just a matter of they weren't functioning as lights. It was a matter of they were also rusted out from all the salt. They're in terrible condition. So all of those will be replaced with new LED lights. There will be some options so that can be some banners on the lights. That'll go all the way over the Main Street Bridge and then down to Round Lake Boulevard.
Okay.
And then at the same time, we're going to use the same street lights down on Coon Rapids Boulevard from 47 over to 93rd. If you drive down there now, there are these white little globe lights that were put in back in the 80s. Yeah. Aluminum wiring, that comes up from under the ground, and that's a do-over. We have to do new wiring and new bases and everything else. Up on Main Street, we'll be reusing the bases. Down at Coon Rapids Boulevard, it's starting over.
Yeah, I found that interesting. Someone asked if they would be getting any use out of the poles that were there, and they do take that down, but the base on Main Street they'll still use.
Right, the base and the wiring
electrical
is still there.
underneath.
Yep.
All right, so that'll be happening sometime this summer, I imagine.
Right. So up on Main Street, they'll engineer the light spectrum based on the spacing of the lights. Okay. Down at Coon Rapids Boulevard, it's a fresh slate. And I don't remember when they said they would be in.
Yeah, I don't recall either, but maybe sometime this year we can.
Yeah, I think we were approving plans and specs, so now we can get things going. I would hope this year.
Well, stay tuned for that. All right, Council approved a joint powers agreement with Anoka County. This is for the reconditioning of Main Street, basically on the western edge of Coon Rapids.
Right, from Round Lake Boulevard into Anoka, and it's actually, the project goes up to 7th Avenue, I think is where it terminates. So this is just joining a joint powers with Anoka County for that section of road. And it really wasn't controversial for us in Coon Rapids. The city manager and I went to the open house in January, and there was lots of people there, and they were all interested in what was happening on Main Street in Anoka. Yeah. So we just kind of felt like we dodged the bullet, and we went, okay, we're covered.
All right. So they're putting, I think, a turn lane down the middle of that road, and
I think they're extending the right lane. I don't, Steve, I don't remember specifically. That was really the last time I really looked at all the layout.
Yeah, I recall that they were going to put down a center meeting, and also a 5-foot wide concrete sidewalk will be constructed, it looks like, as well as part of the project. So
there you go. All
right, and that'll be under construction this summer. Moving along, Council considered and approved a memorandum of understanding. This is with Youth First Community of Promise. There's some changes going on as far as the teen center is concerned here in Coon Rapids.
Right. So there's that. Every time we've discussed the teen center in the past, it's been very controversial, and the school district used to run it, and then the city took over staffing it, and that's not us. We don't do a great job with that. Youth First is an organization that's what they do. They're really focused on serving the youth, serving the kids. And this kind of goes in conjunction with, we're looking at what to do with that Riverwind building. So currently where the teen center is there, almost any version of us moving forward, that end of the building will be gone. So effective June 1st, the teen center is done, and everything is through Youth First of Promise or something like that.
Youth First Community of Promise.
Thank you. And so to start out, their summer programming will still be at their facility in Ramsey, but they're going to bus the kids. They're going to go in and they're going to promote it at the Coon Rapids Middle School. There's over 100 and some kids attending the summer school classes. They're going to be able to promote it to them. And as soon as they get out of summer school, the ones that want to go, they'll put them on the bus, take them out there for the programming, and then bring them back down again. Okay. So it should be a good test run. And then this fall, they will be set up at the middle school and the high school for programming.
All right. So they'll be done in the teen center over at the Riverwind building as of June 1st.
Correct.
All right. Moving along here, we will go to an approved agreement with Allina Health. This is for Dakota Street reconstruction, and this is happening really as part of their reconstruction process or addition at Mercy.
Right. So they, as part of the reconstruction and the new entrance to the parking ramp and all of the realigning, there was more access needed over there. They needed a dedicated right turn lane, and Well, then we got looking at the road, and the road was in bad shape, so it was just time to reconstruct the road. So there's, it's going to be the right turn lane. I know we've already modified the parking. We're reconstructing the road. Mercy is basically covering a very large portion of this for their portion of the assessment on it. They're paying for the right turn lane and then whatever the street assessment is. I don't have any other details. Steve, what do you got for notes?
All right. We're good there.
I have no idea where we're at.
I think they
here.
had to do that because of the traffic also that's going to be on that roadway,
Right.
correct?
Well, right, because right
expecting
now, that's going to be the entrance to the, that's where the parking ramp is, that's where everything is.
And that was just pretty much a city street previously.
Yeah,
So
correct.
it's going to have a higher volume of traffic on it.
Yep, and then there's gonna be a sidewalk down, I think, the west side, and so. But all of the reconstruction that's done there, Mercy will pay their portion of it, and the city will just pay their portion of the actual street reconstruction.
All right. Just amazing when you drive down there, though, the changes that have gone on in that area of town with all the buildings.
Oh, it's just, yeah, it's, I don't know what the total dollar amount is, but it's well over $100 million total construction there. And it's just so, we're so fortunate to have them in town, and the way they've postured it to serve the community and the region and really the state. You know, it's one of the top 50 cardiac centers in the United States, one of the top 100 hospitals in the United States. And when you look at the maps that they serve, or the pins in the map, and they're all over the state. So it's, we're very fortunate.
Great to see all the improvements going on. All right, we'll move along to a resolution adopting or calling for a public hearing to establish a tax increment financing district. This is related to the Riverdale Station Apartments. This is the transit-oriented development that's proposed up by the North Star Station.
Right. Sherman and Associates have been working on building a very large project there, and they're working on the first phase right now. And in fact, you will be able to, if you're interested in speaking about it, you can go to public hearing at the Planning Commission this month, the Planning Commission next month, the City Council meeting in July. You know, I mean, actually, the City Council meeting in July will be primarily the TIF financing on it, but there will be a lot of opportunities to voice your opinion at the Planning Commission.
All right. So basically, at this point, they're proposing a 4-story, 181-unit market rate apartment building,
Yes.
and then a 4-story, 70-unit mixed income apartment building, and then also a small retail component.
Correct.
And then at a future date, there was some plan for senior housing on that site too, right?
Correct. There's a plan for senior housing in the back, and there's still some discussion about them doing them almost concurrent, because there is such a demand for that senior component, and I think that there's some market, economy of scale if they can build them at one time too. So.
All right. So the Planning Commission will be considering the site plan again this month. Public hearing, you said, again next month. I know there has been some concerns from residents in that area about the traffic.
Yep. And that's and so they're going to be coming back with a traffic study. Right now, they're doing there's a public hearing this evening and next month on the preliminary plat approval, and then there will be the site plan, and so there's going to be some time for input at the Planning Commission for the public hearing for the public.
All right, and then that eventually all has to come to council for final approval.
Correct.
All right.
Correct. But all of the public hearings are really at the Planning Commission, and then we watch that and get our feedback from that.
And then make your decision.
Correct.
All right, that's all we had to talk about on the May 16th. Let's jump back to our first meeting of the month now, which happened on May 2nd. We had several presentations there. We'll start off by talking about the graduating Coon Rapids Police Reserve officers.
Yeah, that was a fun start to the night. Chief Wise was out and introduced the new reserve officers. Sergeant Kiesling came out and said there's 11 new reserve officers, which brings our total reserve now to 24, which is the largest he's ever seen. It's just amazing. It's wonderful. You can see all those light blue uniforms at any community events, at the parade. You'll see them working. They do the security over at the community college, and they do the parks, and you'll see them around town.
All right.
I'm not sure how many cars we've got that say reserve on them, but
yeah, but certainly couldn't do it with just the regular police force. They need those reserve officers to assist.
Absolutely. Yeah, they really provide a very large service for Coon Rapids.
All right. Also, we had National Public Works Week. There was a proclamation read for that.
Yes, the cornerstone of civilization, I think was part of the Public Works thing. It was just a fun night. And that led up to the Public Works open house on May 13th. Well attended. It's kind of the dog and pony show. All the equipment comes out and people take tours of the building. And most folks, if they've never been there, are amazed with everything that's done there, from the sign shop to the maintenance garage to the amount of equipment we have. So if you didn't make it this year, make sure you make it to the open house next year. It's a pretty phenomenal event, and our Public Works folks, they do a great job for us, from everything to do with our infrastructure and our streets, and so they have a big job, and they keep things rolling well in Coon Rapids.
Yeah, you forget about all the things they do. I did a video last year on just all the stuff that Public Works does, and there are so many tasks that we need to have done
You forget
to keep the city running on a daily basis.
You would immediately remember if they stopped doing something.
Right, exactly.
Oh, that was important.
Right. All right, we'll move along to a resolution. This appoints a new member to the Arts Commission.
Yeah, William Reichenborn, I believe his name. I'm not sure how you pronounce that. Is new to the Arts Commission now.
Okay.
And that's a fun commission. They do a lot of work for us, and but I think it's kind of a fun commission to be on too.
Yeah, no, they plan all the fun events, all the concerts in the park in the summer, the winter.
Yeah, they do a lot of work. But
Photo
I think they have a lot of fun.
contests, all sorts of stuff. All right, well, welcome to him. And then if anybody's interested in serving on any of the various advisory commissions, they can always submit an application at City Hall.
Correct.
All right. Council approved a temporary on-sale strong beer and wine liquor license. This is for the 4th of July community celebration. I can't believe we're, just a little over a month away from that.
Yeah, so we'll be talking about this again, but this is for their liquor license for the July 2nd through 4th event that'll be over on Coon Rapids Boulevard next to the Coon Rapids Ice Center at a park to be determined, whatever that name will be. Did we name it yet?
Still think they're taking suggestions.
Yeah. All right, good. Okay.
We'll find out soon.
Yeah, formerly known or also known as Boulevard Park, yeah.
That's what I've referred to it as. Yeah. But again, like you said, that's coming up July 2nd through the 4th, so a 3-day celebration this year. The parade will be on Monday, July 3rd at 6 p.m.
Right, and it's in the morning of the 2nd, Sunday morning, is the Fireman's Firecracker, and it's going to be a 3K and a 5K or a 5K and a 10K.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Yeah, and then there's going to be a run walk for kids, and it's, they had over 300 people last year just for the 5K, and now they're expanding it. So.
Yeah, and I know they're already taking registrations for that, so you get in a reduced rate if you do it before the middle of June. So if you are interested in that, sign up now.
So it's really a great event.
Yeah.
And then of course the night of the 4th is Coon Rapids has a phenomenal fireworks celebration. We have one of the best in the area. And part of the music leading up to it will be Rocky Lynn will be performing a set to lead us up to the fireworks. So he's kind of excited about that, and I'm excited for all the great entertainment.
All right, well, we'll certainly talk about more as it gets closer here. Council adopted a resolution accepting a donation from the Anoka County Growers Association. Sounds like the farmer market is coming back again this summer.
Yeah, starting I think July 12th, and they apparently make a contribution to the community. That was a $500 check, so that was nice. And they've got, and again, we can talk about this more in the June meeting, but they've got all kinds of events coming up with their farmers market. It'll be starting Wednesday the 12th and running, I believe, through September. Lots of locally grown things.
Yeah, as long as the weather holds out, they go into the fall, certainly. So.
Yep, and down at the Ice Center.
All right. Moving along to bid openings and contracts, we actually had 4 of those. These were resolutions awarding contracts and adopting assessments for street reconstruction projects. A lot of streets under reconstruction. Just be warned this summer when you're out traveling around.
So a couple of these are big streets, like 101st between Foley and University. People are going to notice that. But so many of these, most people aren't even going to know they're happening because it's this block down to the cul-de-sac over here and this block down to the cul-de-sac over there. And it was, each one had like 25 streets. Yeah. So it's going to be pretty widespread, but not as impactful, I believe, as last year when we had, 10 miles of state aid highways done.
Right. So more residential streets. Anybody that will be assessed for these projects has been notified, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay. All right, watch for all those road construction signs this summer. We'll move along to an ordinance amending city code. This allows Sunday off-sale liquor. Now, this isn't something unique to Coon Rapids. This is something you just sort of have to do, right?
Right, yeah, we have to modify our local ordinance to match the new state statute, which allows Sunday liquor sales.
Okay.
And then, so we just matched the same hours as them, and we took the opportunity to also clean up our Sunday growler ordinance at the same time. But,
So that starts July 1st.
Second.
July
Yep,
2nd.
Sunday,
Yeah.
July, yep,
As
you're
of
right.
July, as of July, yeah.
Yeah, so Sunday, July 2nd, if our liquor stores choose to be open, they can be open as much as 11 in the morning till 6 at night.
All right. Except for one liquor store in a different city. They can't open for the first 3 Sundays. So
Right. Well.
good there. All right. That's all the items we had on our 2 council agendas. Quickly before we go, we want to mention Port River Walk. There is a new development proposal for that, and there was an open house held this week.
So last night Center Homes came and made their proposal. They had several easels of images, and it was very well attended. I was really surprised as hard as it was
the
raining
rain,
and
yeah.
the weather, very well attended, and it seemed like it was very well received. There's been so many different proposals for down there, and now they came in with this 110 detached single-family townhomes, and it's a nice project. And people were happy with the price point. They're not starter homes by any means. They're very nice quality units, and I don't know. We'll see what happens.
So we'll see. We're still in the preliminary stages here. There's still more planning process approvals that need to happen. But
Right.
This is the least amount of units, though, in all of the proposals that were proposed there as far as density.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So apparently one of the folks that was there was complaining about the number of units, and immediately the person next to her said, "You didn't see the earlier units. They're the earlier plans. This is good."
Because there was hundreds in the previous
Yeah.
plans, correct?
Yeah, I don't remember how many, but yeah, it was blocks of 4 units and rows of townhomes, and yeah.
All right. Well, before we go, we should talk about our summer meetings. We just have a couple minutes.
Okay.
So let's do that.
And I never know how much time we have left, so.
Maybe like 2 minutes or so.
All right. So starting June 13th, we're going to have our meetings in the park again this summer. It's really a nice opportunity for the residents to come out to the park. We always bring out a fire truck and a police squad and something from Public Works. There's ice cream, bottles of water, and we try and provide kind of an update what's going on around town. And we give them an opportunity to meet all of the different departments. If you've got a question about water and sewer, there's somebody there from a water and sewer utility. Public Works, Parks, Forestry. Forestry is going to be real busy this year with the emerald ash borer coming to town. We got about 6,000 ash trees we're going to be dealing with in town here. So they start June 13th, 6:30. The first one is at Pheasant Ridge Park. And we just encourage people to come out. And then there'll be 3 more, and we'll be talking about those later. But make sure you come out to one of the meetings.
Yeah, they're, like you said, well attended. There's 2 in June, 2 in July, and all that information is also in your quarterly newsletter that arrives in your mailbox. They'll list all those out here, and that should be arriving shortly.
Yeah, there's a little delay getting it out. Just waiting to see if we were going to get a bridge overpass on Hanson or
We
not.
can talk about that quick here. We just got a couple days left of the legislative session, and it's still up in the air.
It is still up in the air. So there was one iteration of the bonding bill that didn't have our bridge in it, but it had the other grade separations in it. And we're not sure if that was an oversight or just negotiating. But it's back in now, and we'll just have to see if anything gets settled in this legislative session, just like last year. If anything would have gotten settled, we would have gotten our grade separation. So if they can come to terms, hopefully we'll be able to start working on it.
But I'm also reading that this could be the second year in a row that they don't approve a bonding bill.
Yeah.
So they got till Monday night, so we'll
Yeah.
see here, or if they go to extra innings, so
Special
to speak.
session, yeah.
All right. Well, we are out of time.
right.
I appreciate you being here today and talking to us about our 2 meetings in May. Thank you at home for watching, and we'll see you back here again after our 2 meetings in June.